Welcome back, students, to Detention. This is Blue Aura Master. In our last session, we found out what was going on in Ray's home life. Her parents were having a rough time in their relationship. Her dad became a drunk. He was cheating on her mom. They hired a private investigator to find out why he was coming home late. Not only that, he got his hands dirty in a bribery scheme and was taken away after a search warrant was issued. We also saw Ray has been visiting Mr. Chang, the school counselor. Him and Ray developed a romantic relationship with each other. He gave her her white jade deer pendant. We saw a conversation between Mr. Chang and Miss Yin, which afterwards Mr. Chang became distant with Ray, pretty much saying it was over between them. After that, we found ourselves back at the auditorium where we saw a man looking at the chair we were sitting on. So now we're going to start chapter 4, the last chapter of Detention. I think it's my personal favorite chapter just because it has one of my favorite quotes of this game, and also one that really makes you think for like in your own person as well. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So this game has two endings. It does have a good and a bad ending, like most horror games have. So I will be showing both endings. First, I want to get the good ending, and then after the credits roll, I will be showing the bad ending. So first, we have to go here to the closet. We find a silhouette of us, a shadow. It does have many names. Many people call it different ways, but I'm just gonna call it Ray's true self, or our true selves. Before we talk to our true self, let's take a look at this vent. Yeah, I actually didn't know that happened. So that was unsettling. We hear like wailing coming from someone, almost like a lingered. But anyways, okay, so I'm not gonna save. I don't want to break any more of the tension with this chapter. I just want to go ahead and end so we can talk about the story and the meaning of detention. So this true self is going to ask us questions. To get the good ending, we need to do two things. First, we have to collect all the notes in this chapter. There are only 3 notes. And the second thing is that we have to answer questions to our true self. We have to answer each of them correctly. If we answer even one of them wrong, or if we don't get all the notes, we will get the bad ending. I've played this on Switch. I got the bad ending even though I had answered all the questions correctly, but I was missing a note. So I'll be showing you how to properly get the good ending. So let's talk to ourselves. Our life would vanish, but not our guilt. I am you, yet you are not me. It's the sin that makes you linger in this realm. Memories like mirrors reflecting the true likeness of your soul. In a world full of pain and suffering, Fang Rei Shin, what do you fear the most? So we get 3 options. Only one is correct. Losing family, losing my life, losing myself. Losing myself. Believe that we are all born free, eager to walk on your own path, and afraid of losing yourself. You are me. So you know you got the question right if your true self says you are me. So, yeah. That's one of my favorite quotes, if not my favorite quote of this game. I am you, yet you are not me. It just makes you think, right? Her true self is like her purest self. A self-reflection on who you really are, or what you really were. I am you, yet you are not me. That's some really heavy thinking right there. Anyways, so we're back at the school again. So we're going to be wandering around here. I will be thoroughly looking for each of the notes. We don't want to miss out on any single one of them. The door is blocked by an unknown force. Not one, or we can't get the good ending. So we are going to encounter our true self again soon. But for right now, we have to go wander around the school and see what we find. There's that man again. Let's go follow him. The bonfire of hope is almost depleted, diminishing in the wind. Some of the book contents might conflict with your everyday thoughts. But this material will help you engage in reflective and independent thinking. Well, let's call it a day. I do want to remind you all again to never mention the book club to anyone else, for that might put yourself and others in great danger. And Wei, I'd like to ask you a favor. Yes, Miss Yin. Is it about the new books? I've already given the list to Mr. Chang. He said the shipping company won't help us anymore, but he'll figure something out. The government is enforcing restrictions on all imports. Soon, the book club might come to an end. Miss Yin, why are things like this? I'm sorry, Wei. There's nothing I can do either. Oh, just one more thing before you go. Mr. Chang never brought us any of those books in the first place, right? Ha! I know I can always count on you. So there was the book club. Clipping, blacklisted to return home for burial. Half a century in exile, blacklisted to return home for burial. During the period of martial law, Miss Yin Sui Han was a wanted political fugitive. She was lucky to evade arrest and left the country only to be blacklisted. She traveled the world fighting for human rights and freedom of expression, but unfortunately died of lung cancer at the age of 50. Her last wish was to be able to return to her hometown. Now this wish can be achieved with the lifting of martial law. So Miss Yin managed to flee the country, and her last wish was to be buried in her hometown. Okay, nothing over here. Let's go back. Alrighty, so let's keep moving on. Man, just the artwork of how everything looks right now. Like an old movie. The scribble lines, the clouds in the background. Like there's a storm coming still. Even in black and white, it's just amazing how this looks. So we found our true self again. Not gonna talk to her just yet. I think we could actually go downstairs. Yeah, just don't want to miss out on any notes. So let's just go over here real quick. Let's get it. Let's go in here for a second. Oh wait, so we were already here. That was the first time we found our true self. Let's go back. Okay, so yeah, looks like we just have to go back upstairs and go talk to our true self again. Unknown force. Let's just keep going. Okay, we're in there. Yeah, so let's just go to our true self again. Let's go back inside. The way forward is the path to your past. However, the road ahead has crumbled. Lead me anywhere and I will follow you like a shadow. So we switch places with our true self again. Our true self can't go past light. So what we have to do is that we have to leave the classroom. And just like it said, it'll follow us like a shadow. Here in the midst of dark. The sliding door is wrapped in barbed wire. Recollection of chapter 1. Can't open this door. I don't think we can do anything else, but I am just gonna go ahead and just take a quick trip around here. So yeah, it doesn't look like we can do much here. The classrooms are filled with broken up boards and desks. Who can be calling at a time like this? Another moment from chapter 1. We got that phone call from someone saying that they were waiting for us in the counselor's office. Can't open this door. Ah, okay. Actually messed up there. So yeah, we have to actually walk all the way around. We don't want our true self to move from that spot. We want it to stay there. So we have to go back down. Since it already saw me, it's gonna just follow me back to the beginning. So we have to pretty much walk around, enter from the back door, and meet up with our true self on the other side. So yeah, that was my mistake there. So it's just gonna take a second to go back. Want to try not to do any cuts here, so we're just gonna go ahead and sort of quickly come back. Okay, let's go back in the classroom. There we go. So past this campfire and let's talk to it once again. Remember when you enrolled? So full of passion, participating in every school activity, showing off your academic abilities, grabbing the attention of your peers and teachers. Then things took a turn for the worse at home. All the attention quickly turned into unwanted scrutiny. So you chose to escape, to turn a blind eye, grim acceptance. So you chose to escape. The world is immeasurably vast. There is always a place to hide. You are me. Let's keep moving forward. This place is completely lifeless. Even ideas are buried here. Remember to thoroughly destroy each book and add the spirit money to throw them off. There can't be any intact book pages, or else this would be for naught. Hey, Wei. You're closer with Miss Yin. I heard that she had to flee the country overnight. Is that true? I'm not sure. She never said anything about leaving. Unlike Miss Yin, we don't have the connections to guide us to safety. Aren't you afraid? Well, actually, what bothers me the most is, do you know how the reading lists got leaked out? Stop asking questions. I am as clueless as you. Let's just hurry up and finish this. We don't want to get caught. So the book list got leaked out. Miss Yen had to flee. Wei and his classmate are destroying the evidence before they get caught too. A written verdict from court. A torn piece of the verdict. Chang Ming-hui, district-level educator, is found guilty with students Wei and others of collusion with communist forces. Chang Ming-hui is to be put to death after the court's ruling. Wei Chengting pleads guilty to affiliation with communist forces. Reading of prohibited texts with rebellious and corrupt thoughts. Will be sentenced to 15 years jail time. So that image we saw at the end of chapter 3. The last images we saw were Mr. Chang and then himself with a hood over his head. So he was sentenced to death when the book list got leaked out. But we don't know how yet. Let's keep walking. There's that man again. Let's go ahead and follow him. So it looks like we're back in the girls' restroom. A broom is blocking the entrance here. The door is barred by a broom. There's a note on top of it. Snitcher. Remove the broom? Yes. You hear that? Sounds like someone's playing the piano. Let's go find out who it is. It's that man again. Here we have our third and final note. Note entry. Excerpt. That time, in fear, forcing herself to breed hatred, who knew that she would take that leap and leave this world behind? Nary a last word because of fear, remorse? The reason remains undecided. I was left with a blur of confused thoughts spiraling through my mind. When I saw the sunlight again, things had changed drastically. My loved ones and teacher went to a higher place. She was buried in an unmarked grave, leaving me a decrepit man. Who knew that she would take that leap and leave this world behind? She was buried in an unmarked grave. Let's keep moving forward. We have all our notes. Now we just have to meet up with our true self again. So let's head over here. Okay, so there's an altar for praying if you want to save. I'm not going to do that. Let's just keep moving. Don't want to keep breaking. Well, atmosphere changed again, so you actually do have to go in there. But anyways, just want to go ahead and keep moving forward. We're back at the red house. Chapter 2. There's a note on the cart. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Found our true self again. So, just like a moment ago, like a shadow, it'll follow us. If we turn on the light, it can't go through light. So what we have to do is change places with it, basically. We want to go over here. There's another light switch. We need to turn this one on. Can't get past here. The path is crumbled. So we need our true selves to be the path for us. Let's go ahead and turn this light off. Let's move over here. And here, it has nowhere to go. So let's talk to it. Acting immediately on one's determination. This is the philosophy he believed in. That someone should take fate into their own hands. With you following him, what ideas do you hold? Take hold of your destiny? Live a laid-back life? Submit to one's fate? Take hold of your destiny. That is a charming thought. So life has gained a goal. Next to him, you found yourself. You are me. Okay, so we answered that question correctly again. Change places with our true self again. Let's get out of here. Okay, so we have to go outside. No matter how many times this replays, nothing can be unwound. You can never redeem yourself. The old banyan tree, and there's Instructor Bai. Instructor Bai. This is the book list I mentioned before. I found it on her teacher's desk. Miss Fang, the country appreciates your assistance. So it is revealed here. We are the snitcher. Fang Rei Shin is the snitcher who gave the book list to Instructor Bai. With that comment of Instructor Bai, the country appreciates your assistance. That's the message we heard on the phone in Chapter 1. And in Chapter 2, when we were attacked by that creature again, and left the military police puppet at the door. It is theorized that creature was Instructor Bai. It's all coming together now. Let's talk to our true self one more time. See what we have to say for ourselves. Did you think finding something to rely on would stave off your fear? One day, however, he was gone just like that. You've lost everything you can depend on. What choice will you make now? Quietly accept? Try to take them back? Calm indifference. Try to take them back. The instructor's sharp gaze was stifling. You steeled yourself and performed without hesitation. In that one moment, transforming into a pitiless patriot. Easier than you think, right? You are me. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. So Ray was the one who rat out the book club with that list. There's that man again. Let's go ahead and follow him. We're coming close to the ending. It's going upstairs to the roof. Let's follow him. The darkness of night. Everything is quiet. There's this man again, smoking a cigarette. Atmosphere really changed now, hasn't it? Let's go ahead and go back down. Okay, so this is the important thing. If you answered your true selves questions all correctly and collected all 3 notes, you'll see this on the ground. Collect it. Yellowed paper plane. Let's see what it says. From the white deer to my white daffodil, fate holds us apart. So let us meet again in another life, to our freedom. So from Mr. Chang to Fang Rei Shin. For now, let's just keep going downstairs. And past this door. Open the door! Chang Ming-Hui, you are suspected of spreading anti-government propaganda, smuggling banned books, and organizing illegal gatherings. The court has already obtained the necessary evidence. We now arrest you on the grounds of rebellious activities. Do not resist on pain of death. Looks like it will be difficult to escape this time. Fine. Take my head so that I may join my brothers and sisters in death. Why? Aren't people born to live freely? To think openly, to speak their minds without restriction or fear. Freedom of belief, love, and self-realization. Being with you was a happiness of the simplest and purest kind. I couldn't help but think. When we could be hand in hand, living an untroubled life. But in the end, this is only a fool's dream. I too am vain, like the daffodils, fixated on my grandiosity. The world is not ready for the likes of us.
白水先染上一河鲜血，只能如铁锈般凋零。
And now we're playing as the man. So this person here, this is Wei. He's much older now. So this is the good ending. We still have to go through the school one last time, but there's a lot to unpack here. So, for those who might still be a little confused with the story, this is what it is. Fang Ruixin, she was a prosperous and revered student in her school. Everyone admired and looked up to her. But then she started having trouble at home. Her parents were constantly fighting. Her dad was out late to who knows where, being unfaithful. He got his hands dirty. And this affected Ray in her schoolwork. So, because of this, they sent her to see the school counselor, Mr. Chang. But during her visits with him, she started to develop feelings towards him. And Mr. Chang developed feelings towards her as well. They ended up having pretty much a secret romantic relationship. They went to see a movie together. He gave her the white jade deer pendant. And pretty much everything was looking up for Ray. But then Miss Yin came along, giving Mr. Chang a scolding that Ray is only 17, she's still a child, and all she needs is a push in the right direction, and not to have a grown-up wrap his arms around her. So Mr. Chang coldly distanced himself from Ray, pretty much saying that it was over between them. So naturally Ray got pretty mad because of that. She found out that Miss Yin was involved in that. So she found out about the book club through Wei, that they were reading prohibited texts. And well, during martial law, that was not allowed. So through Wei, Ray got her hands on the book list and gave it to Instructor Bai, claiming that she found it on Miss Yin's desk. And because of that, the military police got involved. And so Miss Yin had to flee the country. Wei and one of his classmates tried to get rid of the evidence by burning the books and throwing them off with spirit money, but that wasn't good enough. They pretty much got all the evidence to arrest Wei, his classmates, and even Mr. Chang. So Wei pleaded guilty, and he was sentenced to jail for 15 years. Although Mr. Chang was sentenced to death, he was executed. And because this happened, Ray couldn't live with the guilt. And because of this, she climbed to the roof of the school and jumped off of it. She took her own life away. So what's happening during this game, it's not real per se. It's that we're living Ray's purgatory, so to say, her unfinished business. And we basically see that, well, there's nothing else that she could do. She took her own life away, knowing that she put her loved one to death, one of her friends to jail, and other students were either incarcerated or executed. So yeah. So basically, we are reliving those memories. And there's one thing, well, actually a couple things I want to note. So first off, with about Mr. Chang and Ray. I've also seen the Netflix series of Detention. It's been a while ago, but basically in that series we follow Ray. She becomes friends with another high school girl, with a live one, and even though the series doesn't follow to the letter with this game, there is a scene where basically Ray finds Mr. Chang in the afterlife, and pretty much he says the same message that the world isn't ready for them, and that, well, she pretty much figured out that he actually had legitimate feelings for her, and Ray still loves Mr. Chang as well. But of course, they can't be together, considering, teacher and student, but anyways. So one of the things that left me the most confused was when Ray was listening on Mr. Chang and Miss Yin's conversation. When Miss Yin said, "Did you forget about us?" My initial thought was, when she says, "Did you forget about us?" you would think that Miss Yin has feelings for Mr. Chang, and maybe they were going to start up a relationship. Since at another moment, Ray was asking Wei what kind of relationship they had, but Wei couldn't answer that to her. But here's the thing. Miss Yin wasn't speaking of us as Mr. Chang and Miss Yin. She mentioned that they were on the same boat. What Miss Yin meant was us as the book club. So being with Ray, Mr. Chang wasn't spending as much time with the book club anymore. Yeah, so pretty much it all makes sense now, that why would Ray rat out this book club, knowing that she would also be putting Mr. Chang in danger. She didn't know that. So she thought she would only be getting Miss Yin in trouble. But it ended up costing Mr. Chang his life also. So yeah. So pretty much, after all this time, Wei is released. He still has his notebook. Let's see what it says. Amnesty certificate. A certificate of amnesty. Name Wei Chung Ting. Type of pardon amnesty. Crime declared invalid. Thought I would rot in jail. I didn't expect to live past martial law. People say I am a victim of politics. My crime was written off, but my youth is long past. Something lost can never be regained. Letters from home. A yellowed letter. My son, Chung Ting. Even though I witness sickness and death on a daily basis, this still fills my heart with grief. Your mother's disease was utterly untreatable. I can only hope she died without worry, without pain. A person's body can be physically locked up, but your mind is always free to go where it pleases. Father hopes you can still get some peace of mind in this situation. Stay warm, stay safe. Your father, Jia Xin. Eventually, mother still passed away. Father didn't take it well, and had to take a break from his clinic work. His written words were spirited and calming. They supported me during my darkest days. "15 years of my life were taken away by a piece of paper. I can still clearly remember when the military police came knocking and carried me off in front of my mother. Little did I know, that was the last time I would see her face." After being released from jail, I haven't had any contact with Miss Yin. I couldn't believe it at first, but I heard she had passed away abroad due to lung cancer. Like with my mother, only after seeing her ashes with my own eyes was I able to realize I had lost a familiar part of my heart forever. It doesn't matter what I was feeling back then. Only pain and sadness remain. This leads to the main city. So his mom passed away while he was in jail. His dad was writing notes to him. His mom passed away, and Miss Yin passed away. His youth taken away by a piece of paper. Construction signboard, evidence of vandalism, alongside many signs of protest. Metal lodging for laborers. Alas, to be demolished, all to be demolished. Let's keep moving. We have to go up the hillside, back to the school. And, oh, barred from the heavens and hampered from the underworld. Alone and wandering forever she goes. Pitiful. We had encountered this woman when we died in chapter 2. I really don't know if, like, she is one of the Heibai Wu Chang or what this woman's role is or what she is. I mean, all I can relate to her is that she's more than likely like a Grim Reaper, so to say. But yeah, this woman knows that well. Rei, since she took her own life away, she can't enter heaven or hell. She's in purgatory. So she keeps reliving her past life. Reliving it over and over and over again. Let's keep moving forward. See where we end up in. The large banyan tree's been cut down. It's weathered the storm of generations, yet it fell under the sharp edge of human desire. Time, it rots everything away. Even I cannot hide from it. So we just have to keep walking through the school. It's run down now, it's covered in graffiti, a lot of damages and police tape. Pretty much a sad stroll down memory lane. Reliving what could have been some of his last memories as a teenager, but his youth being taken away by just a small piece of paper. Let's keep walking. Till we reach our old classroom. And there we have it. That was Detention. This game, like I said at the beginning, is really something else. You really just can't stop thinking about it because even though this is a game that takes place in the past, there's a lot of lessons to take from it today. Just Ray only was looking for happiness, and she made a mistake that cost a lot of people's lives and the life of the person she loved the most. And with that last shot with Wei sitting at his desk and Ray pretty much joining him, it's very somber and sad. Just the way that Ray looks as well, just utterly crushed of what she did. Man, there's just so much to unpack here, but overall, that's what this story tells. It has a lot of replay value, honestly. Like, there are achievements if you play this game on Steam. I'm gonna hold myself back on doing that, but if you really want to experience this for yourself, go play it for yourself. It's on Switch, it's on Steam, it's on a lot of different platforms. But overall, just thank you for joining me. And as soon as we're ending the credits, I will be showing what the bad ending looks like. But after that, just thank you all for watching. Class dismissed.